Good morning and welcome to the 2014 Winter Games here in Sochi, Russia. I am Tim Gaines, joined as always by the lovely Shauna Songer Gaines, as we look today towards some very exciting church announcements. On tap today, Brian Roby, an American church announcement giver, is going to be bringing his competition to Sochi, Russia.
Yeah, Tim, there's really just such an air of excitement around this guy. I mean, week after week, competition after competition, he brings a really needed pizzazz to the sport.
He's only actually been at this for about 6 months, and yet we've seen his skills develop. It's hard to believe that he didn't speak a word of English a year ago.
I know, Tim. When I spoke with him after practice this week, I asked him what he thinks his chances are of coming out on top of this competition. You know what he said? He said, "My chances are good as long as I focus on what needs to be done. These announcements can't be for anyone but for me."
You can really see the intensity and focus as he prepares. You can also see his nerves just a little bit, which is understandable. But when I was making church announcements, nerves were something you just had to deal with. One of the things I always learned was that your first announcement is going to make or break the rest.
Ooh, Tim, I'm questioning his wardrobe choice here. I'm not sure what kind of trick he's got up his sleeve, but that might be a bad idea.
Shauna, you're right. This is kind of a rookie mistake. A green shirt with a green background. I don't know what he's thinking. Obviously, this is going to have some kind of an effect on the way that the video is produced.
You know, Tim, watching him during practice, he was loose, he was having fun. We're just going to have to see how his performance ranks today.
And just like I thought, his shirt has gone almost invisible. This is really
morning,
unfortunate.
Bakersfield First Church. This is Pastor Brian with your announcements for the week of February 16th, 2014. First thing I want to do is welcome Tim and Danielle Whetstone and their children to our services this week. They're going to be our guest missionaries for Faith Promise Sunday.
Ooh, that was a big error right at the start of the announcement.
Your first announcement is going to make or break the rest. He really has to get refocused and quickly.
Discipleship classes today.
Wow, that's two big mistakes and right on top. I don't know if he's going to be able to recover, Tim.
We'll be doing a Q&A with Tim and Danielle where you can ask them questions about their ministry journeys and what they've done, and a little bit more about why missionaries are so important to the work we do and our presence in the world.
Oh, and he misses the execution again.
If you didn't know about the potluck, you'll need to bring a...
Oh, that's hard to watch. You're pulling for him, you really are, but as he makes mistakes after mistake, it's just hard to watch.
In addition to your main dish. So bring enough for your family and a little bit more to share in terms of what you bring. And we'll be doing a Q&A with Tim and Danielle
He's worked so hard to get
chow down on food. So that happens at 12 o'clock in the fellowship hall right after discipleship classes today. We're also having church elections March 2nd. So if you're a member of this church over the age of 15, you can vote in those church elections. So stay tuned for more information on that as March 2nd gets closer.
We had such high expectations for these announcements. I think we're seeing the lack of experience come into play here.
The church in 2013 and would like a statement for your tax purposes. Those are available in the welcome booth in the lobby out front. They're in an alphabetized box, so you can go through and pick out your giving statement.
Just fighting to finish up the routine at this point. This is heartbreaking.
Primetime breakfast will be happening this coming Tuesday at Lauren's Coffee Shop on 15th Street.
Another error. Oh, he should have said the coffee shop is on 23rd Avenue.
To get into that, if you're over the age of 55. And those are all the announcements.
Yeah, I hate to put it in these terms, but that really was a train wreck. When I was starting out doing announcing, there were a lot of expectations, a lot of people thinking that I didn't have what it took to be a church announcement giver. And so you have to ignore the naysayers and just be yourself.
You can really see the disappointment on his face. Oh, just so hard to watch.
Such high hopes for these announcements. The guest speakers, the church elections that are coming up on March 2nd, the primetime breakfast. These really could have been so much better, and Brian knows it right away.
I know that all the time until he gets to try to redeem himself, he's just going to be reliving his performance day after day.
You're right. Now, we wait for the scores.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's hard. The judges were awfully hard on him.
This is still a very young announcer. I don't think we've seen the last of Brian Roby. He's got lots of time to improve. Don't count this guy out 4 years from now in 2018.
I think you're right. And even though we've seen a disastrous performance today, after some coaching, I think that Brian is going to be able to make a magnificent comeback in church announcing.
You know, We've got a great day in store for you. We're so glad that you've joined us for worship. It's now time to stand as we continue to worship.